Okay guys, so I realized that the last video that I recorded, the sound quality wasn't that good. That was because I was on my rooftop. I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, it was the only place I could get some privacy to really speak. And it was in the middle of the day, so it was really windy. So my apologies. So what I want to do with this video is just go over some of the things I spoke about in the last video, which would be my why it is that a poor boy from Jamaica is trying to change his life from the comfort of his home. Because growing up we weren't taught how to liberate ourselves from the 9 to 5. We were told that the 9 to 5 was the only solution. That was what we were told, that was what we believed, and that's what we did. And if you listened to my last video, you would have seen how that didn't exactly work out for me and my wife in particular. And like I said in the last video, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I mean, clearly there are people that it does work for, but it doesn't work for everyone. Like, it's not the solution, it's not the final solution, the ultimate solution for everybody. It might be that way for some people, but it's not that way for all. And it clearly wasn't that way for me, nor my wife. And I just want to go over my backstory, how I came to this conclusion, having gone through the school system at the high level, graduating with my degree in chemical engineering, starting out life on the right foot, straight out of school. I was in a job that was paying me very well, in the construction industry. I was a bit out of my field of study, but it was still a good job. I got a good salary. I was comfortable. So how did I move from that to the position or the state of mind that I'm at right now? And to see that, I'll have to go further back, further back into my history, from my days of youth, seeing how my parents handle themselves, both in the working world and with finances on a whole. So like I said, I grew up in a how would you say? I would call it a middle class family. We weren't poor. Both my mom and my dad were working at some point. In the earlier years of my life, both of them were working. They were working stable jobs. My dad was a soldier, and my mom worked. My mom did sewing at a factory when the factories were open in Jamaica. So at that time, she was making good money. My father was as well, even though he wasn't the best person to handle money, and it didn't matter whose money it was, he was just terrible at handling it, and it proved to be his detriment to this day. But so yeah, we were comfortable, pretty comfortable. My mom took care of us. She used to go overseas every summer to do a little extra work, and then when she comes down, she brings the barrel of stuff. So I guess we were very comfortable, and until the factory closed down, and my mom was out of work, and she made her first major mistake in my eyes by choosing to depend on my father, who everybody knew was terrible at handling money. So I have to believe, even though she lost her job, she was very skilled. She was a very skilled worker. She knew how to sew very well. She knew how to cook very well, and she knew how to bake very well. So she could have pretty much done anything that she wanted. She could have gotten another job easily. She could have, it wouldn't have been a hard task for her. If it's even to start her own sewing business or baking business, if it's even to do something of that sort, it would have worked out fine for her, because she's well known, so she would have had the connections to do so, but she chose to stick by us. She chose to stay home, be a stay-at-home mom, and have my dad do most of the heavy lifting. And things started taking a turn for the worst really quickly. And then another thing that happened not too long after that was that my father also lost his job due to some reasons that I'm not keen on. He got I guess he was forced to leave the army, and so now we used to live in Upper Camp. Anybody who doesn't know anything about the army life down here, the Jamaica Defense Force provides housing for married soldiers. They call them MSQs, married soldier quarters. And we lived in Upper Camp. My father was a sergeant, so we got a good house, a lot of yard space. We had like 7 mango trees in the yard, so it was pretty big by our standards. So it was a good life, We didn't pay utilities. The only thing we really paid for was food. So as I said, it was pretty comfortable until they both lost their jobs. My father found another job really quickly, because he was also a very skilled person. He was an intellectual man, very book smart. And he was a hands-on individual. He was very technical, He knew how to get things done. He was very handy. So it was very easy for him to get another job. So he went into the security field naturally, because he's a soldier. I guess it's natural progression. However, like I said, the bulk of the weight was still on him, because my mom was still stay at home. She did sewing on the side, which helped us out a lot. I swear it was nothing. It's nothing short of a miracle how me and my brother both managed to finish university. It's a miracle how we got through that. And because my father, the majority of his money was going outside of the house. We don't know where it was going, but it was clearly going somewhere else. He had a lot of children outside of the family, and even though he's got a lot of kids, he's not the type to really abandon us. He's more the type to get us to know each other, bring us together at some point in time, and trying to bring the family together. So that kind of stretched him really thin, trying to provide for everybody Like, when I say he's got a lot of kids, I mean he got a lot of kids. So, the household was struggling. We started struggling, finding it hard to even find food, and that stuff starts to take a toll on you. Mentally, you start evaluating yourself, you start evaluating your life, you start looking at yourself thinking, what can I do to change my circumstances? And that's when change actually started. From the change in mindset actually started from that time, when I see how easy it is for the working environment to change. I mean, you're comfortable for years in your job, everything's okay, everything's alright, you seem good right where you are, and then in no time a drastic change occurs. You lose your job, the company shuts down, and you're left fending for yourself. And like I said, they didn't know anything about managing money, so it's not like they had anything significant stashed away to keep us afloat, or even a secondary business that we could live off of. We were just left out on our own. And even though my father got paid off, when you leave army, you get a substantial amount of money, and plus his pension, plus you got a pension, and all of it was just squandered. I guess it wasn't that complete, because my mother managed to at least acquire a land and a house, so we at least had that. Even to this day, at the time of this recording, the house still isn't finished, and this is something that has happened years ago, like over 10 years ago. This has happened, and the house still isn't finished building. But so you start evaluating yourself, start evaluating what you can do to not end up in a situation like that, and you become more weary of the so-called comfort zone that you get with a cushy job, or so-called job security. You start questioning a lot of things. And when I actually graduated university, when I was going through university, it was really hard. Like, a lot of times, most times I had to be depending on my fellow classmates, just to get lunch, just to get bus fare to go to and from school. And this was just through university, so through high school as well, because we had left upper camp when I was just entering in third form was in the 9th grade. So I was pretty young and struggling to go to school. I was thrust into that kind of lifestyle, thrust from the middle class straight into a poor family, and I had to deal with it. We had to deal with it the best we could. Like I said, it was a miracle that we even managed to finish university. My brother became a lecturer. He went to carry on Marathon University. He did really well, and because of that, we got him back to be a lecturer. And on the other hand, right out of university, I went to University of Technology, Jamaica. Graduated a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, and straight out of that, I went to work with a construction company. It was going well for both of us. I guess started off on the right foot, and then my wife, we were in the same. Me and my wife were in the same class, so we graduated at the same time, same degree. It was the same situation. When she left, she started working for John, which was a backside company, so she was getting a pretty decent amount of money as well. So we were planning to get married, and she was also pregnant at the time. Before the wedding date, she got pregnant with our son, with our first child, and she was working at the bank on a contract agreement. So as a contract worker, you aren't allowed what they call it again, paternity leave. That yes, you weren't afforded that. So because she was pregnant, she actually had to leave the job when she was no longer able to work. So that kind of brought us into a more unstable situation. And then to make matters worse, shortly after she lost her job, I lost my job as well. So now we're back into the same situation as my parents, only this time. What's trying to say? Only this time, I think our situation was a little bit worse, because unlike my father, I didn't have that many skills to get, to keep back a decent job. I have my degree, I have my schooling. I was told growing up that, you should go to school. It is a golden rule. Go to school, you get your education, you get your degree, and then you'll get a good job, and the job will take care of you. But it didn't work like that for me. It worked pretty well for my brother, even though he's still not comfortable. He's not where he wants to be in life. So he started his own business, which is what we should have done from the start. But we don't usually tend to listen to our sensible side. We tend to err on the side of caution, and we make small investments here, small investments there. We take the safe road, and unfortunately, the safe road usually means that we need to constantly putting money in to get anything sensible out of it. And when we can't, and we were not able to continuously put money in, then our investments collapse, which is exactly what happened to us. So we had to pretty much, me and my wife were both unemployed for about 5 to 6 months. And in that 5 to 6 months, we still had to pay for the light, internet, water, food, rent. Still had to buy, still had to take care of the baby, everything that comes with the baby. Clothing, food, diapers, medical bills, works. I think the good thing about what happened with our situation is that we had good people that were around us. We had great people around us actually, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to last that long. We're still living in our rented house. Even though we were unemployed for 5 months, it was really amazing. People in our lives really came through for us, and one day we hope to repay them for that. We have some great people in our lives, and we owe them a great deal of gratitude, and we will work to pay them back at some point. When we made it in life, we will pay them back tenfold. That's the goal in life. I just wanted to just take some time to say thanks to all those persons that helped me and my wife through all those hard times. A lot of sacrifices were made, and I'm very grateful for that. And I really just want to build a life around giving back to people. When I've achieved my success, even before I've achieved my success, I hope to just center my life around giving back. Where was I? Unemployed for 5 months, changing my mindset. So after being unemployed, unable to get a job for 5 months, in fact, I don't even. It's been over a year now. We've had our second child, our daughter, and she's almost 4 months right now. And my wife is still unable to get a job, even though we've sent out hundreds, if not thousands, of applications. She's still not able to get a job. I'm still not able to get a job that fits the degree. So even so, you see that the whole idea of go to school, get an education, get a degree, and do a better job, and the job will take care of you. That ideology starts falling apart in our world, because we went to school, though it was hard, we got our degree against all odds. We got the job, even though, in our eyes it could have been better, but we got the job. But the job didn't take care of us. And then when the job didn't take care of us, the degree didn't take care of us. So the only thing that we're left back now is our social circle. That took care of us. Our willingness to do something that was different, step outside of our comfort zone, outside of our box. That worked. So my wife actually started her company. She started working as a travel agent, a stay-at-home travel agent, and a network marketer as well. The company is a combination of both, travel agent and network marketer. And these are things that we would have never done in our earlier time, when we were comfortable in our cushy jobs, thinking that the world was alright, everything was going to be fine, the job is going to take care of us, this is what we're told, this is what we're doing, it's all going to work out exactly as we were told. We've never started our own business. We've never started my own business because I developed, through all those hardships, through all those trials, I developed the mindset that if nobody's going to hire me, if nobody wants me to work for that, I might as well work for myself. I might as well hire myself. And that's what I did. I started my business. Started off with affiliate marketing. I had no idea what affiliate marketing was, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, no idea what to do. But that's an ad. I had an open mind because I was too broke to ask questions. And really and truly, the ad that I saw really appealed to me. I was actually following this guy called Jay Brown. He does make money on videos on YouTube, and he was making reference to his mentor. I taught him how to create a 6-figure business online, and I was just like, well, I'm home full time pretty much, so I might as well figure out how to make 6 figures at home, since I had all this time on my hand and a little bit of spare change to pay for a class. But I got to lose. So I started off doing affiliate marketing. It was a bit slow because I didn't know what I was getting into. The mentor was good. There was nothing on their part. The teaching was good. I learned a lot. They actually told us exactly what to do. Everything down to the script, down to the words put in the ads. Everything. They told us everything that we should do. But most of it required us to do pay ads, and that's where I fell short. Because I didn't have that much money to invest in paid ads. To get the kind of results that we need to scale up. So what I had to do was resort to free methods of marketing, and that took a little bit of a more drastic turn in terms of opening my mindset to something I've never done, because I've never been I've never been a social person. I don't like speaking out, I don't like talking to crowd, I don't like opening up to an audience. That's something that I've never done. I've always been reserved, quiet, the guy in the corner that nobody notices. That was me. That was always me, even through high school, even through university. I was never the guy that really stood out. But I had to make a change. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. Otherwise, I just keep getting what I'm getting. I didn't like what I was getting, so I needed to do something else. So I needed to do something else, and that's what I did. It took me a while. I eventually, decided that I'm just going to do it because that's the only way you really get anything changed. You have to put it into practice. You have to actively do what you need to do to get results that you want to get. You have to invoke change actively in your life. So I finally started my YouTube channel, and And along with that, so I'm doing affiliate marketing with my YouTube channel as well. So I guess you could call it about the two businesses that I'm operating: affiliate marketing and the YouTube channel. And I also started my network marketing business. I guess my network marketing company is based in travel industry. It's a pretty large industry. So if you're looking to start out in anything regarding network marketing, travel is definitely the way to go. In fact, any business at all, any business model, travel is the best one you can start in, because it's the largest industry in the world. I think it's a $8 trillion industry. Like, you could group all the other industries together in the world, all the largest industries in the world, group them together, and you still couldn't compare up to how big the travel industry is. And you really only need a size of that to make it big in life. So into that, my wife into as well. Even though we signed up for 2 different companies, we're still in the job space. So we're working on getting that going as well. So we're finally, after having pretty much our foundations rooted for under us, and set back to the ground floor, we're finally, digging new foundations, creating new structures to stand on. And I'm telling you, like, we're digging our base really wide and really deep, so that we can build, an empire. From this we're still at the ground stages, still digging the foundations, but we have a vision for the future, and we're going to achieve our goals through this. And one of the main things that we want to do is to teach our children how to do the same. We don't want them to experience life the way that we experienced it. The limitations in teaching the teaching styles that we were given. We don't want them to be limited in what they learn and in how they learn either. We want them to understand that there is a lot more to this life than what they were told. There's a lot more to life than what the golden rule teaches them. It's good because of that. It's a great way to start out. Like I said, amount of income coming in constantly. That can balance things. So don't stop there. Keep going. Keep investing in yourself. Learn the difference between assets and liabilities. Find ways to generate more assets than liabilities. And other than that, Brew, one of the best books that I've ever read. I would advise anybody who's listening to this to go on and find that book yourself. If you have not read it yet, go and read it. If you've read it already, go and read it again. And for those people that don't like reading, there are audiobooks, so reading has now become even easier, surprisingly. So the book that I'm talking about is called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that book also helped me to open my mind, change my perspective, give me a greater vision for what I need to achieve, things I need to do, how I need to set myself, how I place myself, what I need to learn, in order to build the life that I wanted. It also showed me all the things that I was doing wrong when I was in my comfortable job, when me and my wife were in our comfortable jobs, the things that we were doing wrong, and then that caused us to be in a situation that we are right now, even though after we lost our jobs. Because had we known then what we know now, had we been thinking then how we've been thinking now, I guarantee you we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would have been okay, we would have been more than fine, because we would have had the financial backing to really push ourselves, push our businesses so much further than we're able to do right now. Right now we're having to do this the hard way. And there's nothing wrong with the hard work, but if there's a way you can do this, do it. If there's a way you can do it easier, then just do that. Don't waste your time. Time is precious. Learn how to maximize the time that you have. Do the things that are important. And try to idle a little bit less. Stop wasting time watching videos, playing games, reading books that aren't going to, even books that will teach you something. Don't waste your time just reading books. If you're not applying what you've learned, then it doesn't make any sense to you continuously absorbing knowledge. You have to put it into practice. You have to put it into practice. And so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. And don't be so caught up in yourself. Don't limit yourself. Open up your imagination. Open up your mind, the possibility that there is more than what you are seeing, more than what you know, more than what you believe to be true. In this world, there are endless possibilities, and all you have to do is put yourself in a position to receive those opportunities. Make the most of the little time that you have left. And don't waste your time in regret. So I just wanted to end on that note, and there should be some, beautiful music and, the sound of the ocean in the background. So I'm just going to leave you to just take some time to meditate on that, just really evaluate your life. Think about things that you need to do, things that you want to do. Think about how you plan on achieving your goals in life. Don't sit around and wait for someone to tell you what you want. Don't wait for someone to tell you what you need. You need to first figure it out for yourself, and then you go out and seek advice. So just take some time, listen to the music in the background, and reevaluate your life. Even if you're in a comfortable position right now, think about how you can make things even better. Think about generational wealth, how you can build something your kids can inherit. Because that's the greatest thing that you can leave for your children, an inheritance. Like I said, I'm just going to leave it on that note, and if you've stuck through to this video, if you stuck around for till the end of this video, then I commend you. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know that you've managed to reach this far in this video, because most people have a attention span of like 2 minutes and then they click away. So if you've managed to last this long, then let me know in the comments. Show your support, show your love, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell so that you never miss out on my future videos. I have some really amazing content coming up, and I just want us all to benefit together, because like I said, this life is full of possibilities, full of opportunities. We just have to open up ourselves to receive them. Don't be limited in the way you think. Keep that in mind going forward, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.